Let's go. I'll talk. You know what it is. All right, man. How y'all doing, man? I don't know what's going on with the system in this area, but for some reason it's pushing things back. But I'm here, so here we go. All right, so today's episode, it got me to thinking about something that I seen online and said, does Drake really run the music industry? And I want to talk about that because I think it's very important that we uh, we don't get things mixed up on persuasion, the power of persuasion, and the power of just having literal power. And yeah, so we're gonna get into that. Before we get into that, I gotta get the spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like this, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sign on merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is right here on the screen. Cash App. No more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. Thank you for everybody that send donations. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know y'all bang on my content. Sometimes we don't get along. Sometimes we go back and forth. But I love y'all for just being here with me. We ain't going to always agree. Just remember that. But we all are still family. And I still love y'all. So look, man. Let's get right into this, man. Let's do it. All right, this comes courtesy of Need to Know Podcast. Shout out to them. Make sure y'all go subscribe. If you can donate, make sure y'all donate to them. We work really hard out here as content creators. Thank y'all for all the support. So let's get it, man.
The Clipse.
Ooh.
New music. It's out. It's here. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Yo, yes, how you feel about Pusha T?
I love Pusha T.
You say you the head of Orbs. Head of Orbs.
Listen, y'all, I could be delusional, but I could always acknowledge when somebody just has to take their L.
That's all right.
Okay.
I think Pusha T, I don't think we talk about Pusha T killing Drake on that enough.
Yo.
Actually. Like, I think that's one of the, that was one of the greatest little situations in a while.
I understand exactly what she's saying. I definitely think that we don't. But I think that is the issue with us when it comes to hip hop. Hip hop is the only genre that I know that we base most things off of popularity and numbers. Like, it's so lopsided. So we all know Pusha T is better than Drake, but everybody won't even take Pusha T serious or what he did serious to the point where it will take down Drake. It has to be somebody that's just as popular or just as powerful as this person. To people look at it like Floyd Mayweather made a fort. I don't know. Let's say Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know who he is, Lomachenko is a great boxer. I'm not saying he's better than Floyd, but let's just say Floyd fought Lomachenko. People would look at Floyd's status and would say he's better than Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I know that's probably a bad comparison, but I'm just trying to draw a parallel between Drake being who he is in people's mind and Pusha T who he is in people's mind. I know boxing is kind of a different type of thing, but we could just use Drake and Pusha T. Drake, to me, was a much bigger artist than Pusha T. It's like Pusha T throwing a rock at a tree. You know what I'm saying? And is it really going to hurt the tree? No. But Kendrick would be like a chainsaw. You know what I'm saying? Is it really going to hurt the tree? Yes. So, well, it depends on what size the rock is, because the rock might still hurt the tree. So I'm giving bad analogies today. I'm sorry.
I still think about that shit.
It's my nigga.
Yeah, that was wild.
Nigga fully exposed he had a child, and Drake actually had to just run with that. Like,
Yo.
nigga had to own fatherhood after that. That's different.
And you love Drake.
I love
And can
Orbs.
say that.
Love Orbs.
Yeah, like this is balancing.
Love
That's
him
duality.
down.
Like, but it still happened.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it happens, man.
you know?
You sound like Alex.
Yeah.
Because Alex defends Drake in the same way.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he's still Drake, nigga. Like, respect him. But, like, you know?
Did y'all hear
The thing is, a lot of y'all have drew this conclusion already. You know where most of that came from in hip hop is Puff. Puff made y'all believe that everything he did turned to gold. And then at one point it did. You know what I'm saying? Everything he did was certified either gold or platinum. And he put that stain in people's head. And I think that a lot of people, they treat Drake like that. It's like he's too big to fail type shit. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think it's one of those things where you kind of like have to look at it like from the point of view of a person who really doesn't like, or not even doesn't like Drake, but who is not biased. Because when you look at it from the point of view of all these people who say, oh, it's still Drake, they already drew a conclusion in their head. And no matter what, he's who he is. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing I think that a lot of people don't understand is they already have this conclusion drawn in their head about Aubrey. See how she got nicknames for him, Orbs. So it's like, oh no, this is what it is. Like no matter what, like he took an L, but he's still Drake though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so no matter what happens, he could get exposed, he could be whatever, but in people's head, they're gonna always run with those numbers. You know what I'm saying?
The new Clipse song.
Oh man, Ace
listen to it.
Ace Trumpets.
Sound good.
Anticipated album from Pusha T. Let God sort him out. I'm gonna play this because this is the first time Malice and him.
That's
no,
sweet.
I'm lying. It's
We
no
heard
Malice.
Yeah, no Malice.
No
Get
Malice
it right.
was actually on his last album.
Yeah, but he hasn't I feel like he's been in the shadows for so long.
He has. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. This is Ace Trumpets from the upcoming album from the Clipse.
Nah, that's fire.
My dog
I'm feeling
is
that.
back.
That's fire. I'm feeling
He's
that.
back, yo. Yes, I don't know if you know
feeling
the narrative on his podcast.
Yeah, man. That's a fire song. I ain't gonna lie. Real fire song. I ain't gonna lie.
I put my cape on for Push. I don't give a fuck. Win, lose, or draw. He had some shit with Jim Jones a few months ago. I defended Push.
You did.
Jim Jones' soldiers, they threatened my life. It's cool.
Yo, what?
Yeah, them Harlem niggas was about to run down on him. They said in the
No.
comments.
But I stood 10 tones down.
Don't worry, I held it down for
team
all the
held it
Harlem
down,
niggas. Yeah,
Me and Alex took a road trip to go see Push.
we did.
I forced him to because
He didn't.
He's Team Orbs.
You wanted to go?
I wanted to go.
Yeah.
He calls Drake Orbs too.
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
You know, people on this podcast know me.
I know, I be
And they-
lying. I be lying when they guess for love.
What the fuck, nigga? It's
And
phony.
Now I be lying when the guests pull up.
You
You're messy.
You gotta get a little lie off.
That's
Gotta get a
wild.
little
He
lie
fake,
off.
yo.
He's
He
OT.
fake.
You know how we do. But nah, so Push dropped this or the Clipse dropped this. Let me be clear. And then they went on a press run. They talked about a lot. Alex, I don't know how you feel about this shit. I thought this was amazing music. Shout out to Pharrell.
Yes.
We was dissing Pharrell on the pod, I think.
Why were you? Why?
We were not. Yo, he
Explain
be
it,
saying
bro.
things so abrasively. Stop.
Why
we
the
did not,
fuck
we
would
was
you
not dissing Pharrell.
diss
We were
for
just
real?
talking about the absence of Chad. And,
Okay.
and if we
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hate these manufactured conversations, like the forced conversations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's not what they're doing. I'm just keeping it real. I feel like sometimes they just say things just so they can keep things going. But the jump cuts are cool. But anyway, forget all that. I'm just in my head real quick. But still in all, the song is fire. The song is fire. I think that it's something that pushes something different for what's going on now. And it kind of leans into this whole hip hop. Real hip hop is back. I will say that Kendrick is on tour, but I think that a lot of hip hop artists who are into lyrics, they need to start capitalizing off this. Because if they don't, if they just sit around and allow this moment to pass by, you're going to have somebody going to come along and they're going to do something. Maybe not as good as Kendrick, but they're going to do something to move the needle a different way. I think the Clipse coming out with that album now is 100% a great idea. And oh yeah, by the way, listen, I'm going to do my review of the Carter 6. That's coming. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if I'm going to do an entire live about just listening to the album. I might do that. I'm not sure. I might try to have some guests on for that too. But yeah, I got a lot to say about it. Let's just say that. But let's keep it going.
And we heard it in recent production.
Okay.
That's a diss.
It's not a diss.
It's not a diss.
It's not a
Nigga,
diss.
if we do something together
Yeah.
and then you leave,
They would feel my absence.
I don't give a fuck.
What
Don't
the
say
fuck?
it. That's a diss to me.
Oh my God, it's
I'm
not a
ass
diss.
without you. Basically.
How is that a diss? If me and you do something together and then I leave, that's not a diss. We just went on our separate ways. Like, what is this guy talking about?
That's what they saying. Don't say that.
They're not saying.
Just don't say it though.
No, I hear what you're
You feel what I'm
saying.
saying?
Yeah, but you took it there. I feel like your mind has to already be there for you to take it that way. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, I am excited for new Clipse music. They have been teasing this album for a while now, at least over a year and a half.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
I hope they over deliver.
I think they will.
I'm confident.
Yeah, they have the
They're nice,
anticipation.
bro.
Yeah, they're nice. They
Yeah.
have the anticipation, the hype, new energy. Well, new energy.
Yeah, so I feel like
with no
Push is
malice.
always the same.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I don't like that us as hip hop fans do, and I even include myself. I hate the fact that we always expect so much more from certain artists than others. Like, for example, I'm sure they didn't say this about Drake album. I'm sure they didn't say this about Some Sexy Songs for You. I never seen it, but I'm sure they said they expecting this album to be better than G and X. I think that most people, when they get to certain artists, they get to a point that they feel like the artistry is capped out. And I think that that's how they feel about Drake. So they won't say that they expect Drake to over deliver, but somebody like Pusha and No Malice and who haven't done any albums together for a while, I feel like they have to over deliver. But people like Drake, he don't have to over deliver. And I think that that's unfair. And I have to blame myself for that too. Because I feel that way about Kendrick. I feel like sometimes Kendrick has to over deliver, even though he does all the time. I mean, so I think it's unfair to do that. I think that we do that with Eminem too. We expect every Eminem verse to be him rapping like he just bust his brain open. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's unfair that we treat artists like that. If we're going to treat artists like that, we need to treat every artist across the board like that. Hold them all at the same. We expect you to be better than what you was last time, because most of us don't do that.
You don't really.
I think his brother's gonna
Yeah.
show out on
I
this
hope so.
project. I think we really do need to give No Malice his flowers.
Absolutely.
When you talk about a rapper who walked away with his morals intact and came back on his own terms,
Facts.
on his own accord.
He's Christian now, right?
Yeah. And I want to see how he kind of like maneuvers around on the project with the news of that.
All of y'all are hypocrites, man. Like, cut it the fuck out. Like, why is it that because he's Christian, he can't rap about things he's seen or did? Like, and I'm not saying they're saying that. I'm just saying people in general, y'all. And listen, I'll be the first to say I'm not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't into all that. But I'm gonna say this: a lot of y'all be holding Christianity to a certain standard, and y'all think that Christian's supposed to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all. Every time I hear somebody mention Christian, it's always in the context of them they refrain, or they have to refrain from saying things, or they can't really speak how they feel on certain things, because remember, you a Christian, so you can't say that, or you can't do that, because you are looked at as you're judged on everything you do. I don't see nobody saying this about Muslims or it's having an Islamic faith or whatever other Buddha 5%, whatever other religion. I don't see people saying, "Oh, he's Islamic, right?" I don't see people saying rappers, because a lot of rappers are Muslim. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see them throwing that out there. It's like, okay, well, if you're a Muslim, you should be. It's okay for you to talk about whatever. You could talk about whatever, even though Islam is the same as Christianity. It's all about peace. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I think that people hold Christians at such a high standard that they can't do no wrong, because it is so crazy to say this, but y'all think every Christian is Jesus. Y'all do. Y'all don't take into consideration. Like, I know about the Bible. I'm not a Christian, but I know. Like, y'all think that every Christian has to walk the righteous path of Jesus. And if they don't, they Diablo himself. They the devil himself. If they don't. You know what I mean? So
Along with that, we also learned as to why it took so long for them to start to promote the album, push a single, push trailers out. Long story short, I hate when people say this too, the Clipse. It's Clipse. Clipse was having an issue with Def Jam, right? Who they have been with.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep stopping it. Bro, don't do that. You could use the for anything, bro. You could say Clipse or you could say the Clipse. It doesn't matter. The is like one of those things that you pointing at. It's like that's what it is. Even when you say Clipse, that means it exists. You could say the Clipse. That's even signifying that it exists. It's no different, bro. You could say the Clipse or you could say Clipse. But when you say the Clipse, people know exactly what you're talking about and who you're talking about. So I hate when people say the Clipse. I don't know. I'm complaining. I'm sorry. I'm complaining today. I don't need to be complaining. You could say Clipse, bro. Forgive me.
For many years.
Yes.
Many moons. Pusha T also has had a solo contract underneath Def Jam. And during the press run, Savon, they sat with GQ.
They did.
They started talking, didn't they?
Only the best.
Only
Only the best sit with the best.
Only the best of the best. And they kind of got into, like, this is what's been going on.
Yeah.
And I want to pull up specifically what it is. Give me 2 seconds.
Nah,
So they didn't hold back.
They didn't hold back at all.
They didn't hold back.
Should they have held back?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think so. Why hold back?
I don't know. Trying to hold back.
Do you hold back?
I wish I did. I should. I sure.
I mean, at some point you kind of gotta hold back. You know what I'm saying? You have to when it comes to certain things. Like, you have to hold back. But I understand why they didn't hold back, because I mean, you got to put it all out there. I think that it's a good thing they didn't hold back. I ain't going to even lie. I think it's a good thing.
Should they have held back?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think so. Why hold back?
I don't know. Some people be like, trying to hold back.
Do you hold back?
I wish I did. I should. I sure should.
Yeah, no, what they said was interesting. And I like, they give a real old school approach to how they roll out things.
Yeah, I
Right?
love that.
A very traditional. Let me not say old school. I feel like old school
you
is
young.
associated with like KRS-One. And I don't want to associate the Clipse with that. So a very traditional rollout.
Bro,
you know what I'm
okay.
You get what
You're so funny.
You get what I'm saying? So their approach to how they're gonna roll out this music, they dropped a single.
Yeah.
They sat with GQ. GQ
Yes.
is one of the biggest publications. Shout out to Steven Victor too. I know Steven Victor, he managed Pusha T. He's also doing some interviews and talking about their situation. Alex, you got that pulled up?
Yeah, I do actually. And shout out to Mr. Victor. So, apparently, I'm pulling this from Low Key. Shout out to Low Key, friend of the show. He's been a
Yes.
guest on the show.
Sure.
You know, he be knowing all of the inside industry tea, I guess.
I don't know, man. Me personally, I'm glad I do what I do. I'm just going to say that. I'm glad I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. I'm glad I do what I do.
Especially with Pusha T. Real quick, before you say that.
No, you're right. Go ahead, yeah.
Pusha T, as a fan of yours, I'm gonna tell you, you're not low, bro. I know
Who you
the
talking to?
people you really like.
Yeah,
He really likes Low Key.
he does.
He really likes Ice.
Yeah.
Just make it a little bit less obvious when you feeding niggas information, because we know.
Nah, hell no. He needs shooters too.
You're right. 'Cause
Everybody else got shooters.
He's been a shooter his whole
His
career.
whole life.
You're right. All right.
Push, put the gun down. Now, yo, pull this from Low Key. Apparently, Def Jam wanted the Clipse to remove Kendrick's feature from their upcoming project, Let God Sort Them Out. And when Pusha refused, the Clipse and Def Jam parted ways. How do we feel about that? This isn't the first time we've heard censorship within hip hop. If we had to guess as to why Def Jam, who was under UMG, right? If we had to guess why this was a thing, Yaz, what would you say?
I say the owl in the sky. I say there's an owl in the sky.
Fuck the eagle. Fuck the eagle.
You know what I mean? Listen, man.
Damn.
That's power, though.
That is power.
Like, hear me out. That's a power.
You see what I mean? They confusing power with persuasion. It's not the same. It's not that you're getting my stuff taken off. It's basically you're getting my stuff taken off, but you're not doing it yourself. You're using some type of leverage, or not even leverage, you're using some type of persuasion to get it off. Doesn't mean you're powerful, in my opinion. This doesn't make Drake powerful. It's like, oh, y'all so quick. People are so quick to run to a conclusion. They don't really actually look at things and try to decipher things. It's like, oh, well, Drake was really, he got a lot of power over there. He did a lot of things. It's like, really? Does he really have power? Because again, if he did, then Not Like Us wouldn't exist. Like that wouldn't exist. So is it really he had power, or was it he used persuasion, and his persuasion ran out, and now he's essentially powerless, persuasionless.
But you know what, though? Because I know you're not a stan. Let's say you're a Drake fan, right? And again, this isn't the first time we've heard of Drake in talks of censorship.
Yeah.
Remember with the French Montana feature, this and that.
Right.
But as a fan, or even a stan, I don't see how anyone could support their favorite condoning censorship. I just don't understand it or see it. I understand that, UMG is heavily indebted into you, heavily invested into you, actually is a better word.
Okay.
And they've basically always done what you said in the past. But when we're dealing with artists and their art, I mean, where is the line, no?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I actually do agree with that. But again, there's an owl in the sky, and he's got these niggas doing stupid shit.
Yo.
See what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does. People already drew a conclusion. So you say, I agree. You know what I'm saying? But it's an owl in the sky. It's basically superseding her own argument by saying, well, I agree. He ain't shit, but it is what it is. Like, well, is it really that, or is it something else? Because y'all are under the impression that he does this. If he had this much power, then he wouldn't have to ask UMG to release his music. He wouldn't be one of those people that how would I say, when he has to sneak his songs out and he get them taken down. That's not a person with power. He gets his own stuff taken down. So maybe it's not what we think. Maybe it's not that Drake has this power, or Drake has this leverage, or whatever. Maybe they felt like taking it away. Maybe it was UMG. Because you got to ask yourself, if Drake had all this power, then how is it that Drake is not allowed to put stuff out when he want to put it out? If he had this power, if he has power to take people's stuff away, why is it that he doesn't have power to put his own stuff out? That's what I mean. Like, he doesn't have power. Like, come on, cut it out.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Because why the fuck would you, like, that's big. Like, parting ways with your label?
Yeah.
Because two ops can't get on the song?
Yo.
That's crazy. That's not crazy to y'all?
I love that you said owl.
Well, it wasn't that two ops couldn't get on the song. They allowed them to be on the song. They just wanted him to change his verse. And he said, no, I'm not telling him to change his verse. Then they said, well, take his verse off. And then that's what happened. It wasn't like, oh, well, y'all can't be on the same song together. That wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying?
In the sky. Because it casts a shadow on Drake's influence over the industry over the years.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's a bird. It's a plane.
It's a Drake.
It's a Drake. It's like, what the fuck? He's been doing this shit for a really long time.
Pulling strings
A
behind
lot of
scenes.
people probably like, and this is why so many ops came out during that whole beef.
Yeah.
Because
No, all jokes aside, though, the censorship shit is ridiculous. But the thing is, I'm not in these rooms. I don't know what these conversations are like. I don't know what's actually happening. I don't know if Pusha T and Kendrick just want to do a song just because it'd be hot. They both could spit. I don't know if Drake's gonna catch another fucking 18 rounds. I don't know. So I can't say that like he's the reason, but I mean it's all trails do lead to the bird.
If the message is coming
the
from
owl,
the bird,
all trails lead to.
And it's also crazy too how, again, we justify certain people doing certain things, but when it comes to Drake, oh, we don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing behind closed doors. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. But anybody else, you know. We all know. But Drake, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? He used his influence to get what he wanted. But I stand on this 100%. He doesn't have power. Because if he did, Not Like Us wouldn't exist. Like That wouldn't exist. A lot of these songs wouldn't exist. So
Title, please. Somebody write that down.
You know what I mean? So,
no, you're right.
I don't know.
Because if this is all coming from Drake, I don't think him and his team understand how much they're making Pusha and Kendrick look like the boogeyman.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if you say, yo, don't give a fuck, and yo, we on the new vibes, yo, we the lit ones, you cannot hinder what they're doing.
That's
If
what I'm
anything, you
saying.
gotta let them do what they doing and act oblivious to it. If
Because
anything.
that was not fair.
Yo.
But also, it's like, if they do drop some shit, he better come back rapping. Because if you're doing all this censorship shit
he coming
behind
back.
the scenes, you better come back with some shit.
He
I don't
coming
want to
back.
hear Nokia.
So-
Nigga, get in there and talk shit.
I'm so glad she said that.
the thing is, too, again, y'all so quick to, it's like, I understand that. To me, it's two kind of, two dichotomies between Kendrick and Drake. Y'all hold Kendrick at a higher standard than Drake. But the bar is set so low for Drake that I believe that a lot of y'all are like, well, all he has to do is rap. And that's it. Kendrick, he has to do everything. Oh, he has to stay number one. He has to make sure that his album's a classic. He got to make sure his tour sells out. He got to do all these things. Y'all don't hold these two people at the same standard. And in my opinion, I think that that's wrong. I think that you can't say that these two dudes is in the same class if you're not going to hold them both at the same standard. I know Drake get a lot of criticism. I'm not sitting saying he don't. I know he does. But at the same time, he don't get criticized for not selling out the shows. At least that's not what I see. I see people saying, well, yeah, he canceled the show because he had to come back. I can imagine if Kendrick Lamar canceled the show. Y'all would be, it could be raining, sleet, hail, snow all at the same time. And 17 inches of snow outside, and Kendrick could point, yeah, see, he canceled his show, bro. He canceled his show. He fell off. That's what y'all would be saying.
Because when a guy says that, it comes off a little bit different.
Yeah.
It comes off because when he puts out Nokia, I said Nokia like it was a whole different language. Nokia. I said Nokia.
Nokia.
Like I was from Japan or some shit. I don't know, nigga. When he put out a song like Nokia.
You did have a little accent
I did,
there.
right? I don't know. When he put out a song like that, or just the album in general, Sexy Songs for You, right? He's feeding you.
But he knows that but he knows someone like me. He knows like there's 20 of me that's gonna be like, fuck that beef. Girl, we feel good.
Exactly.
Girl, I
Vibes,
feel
yeah.
good. Who's calling my phone?
Who's calling
who's
that
calling
shit?
it?
Who's calling that shit? So when he puts out music like that,
Yeah.
like he's feeding you, your
Yeah.
friends, and just the people who appreciate that music, who don't give a fuck
About the beef.
the politics and the beef. Exactly. So for you to say that, I think is really important because it lends to a different audience.
Of course.
It says like, yo, your worlds are colliding.
Yeah.
Right? There's people like you who just want to turn up, and let me not say you because I don't want to put you in a box, but there's some people who only care about the turn up Drake, the hits, the Instagram phrases, all of those things. And then there's people who care about the artistry of rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
That's where Pusha T and Kendrick lean in.
Yeah.
So if you really
want y'all to understand something. On its face, popularity is where it's at. Overall, artistry will always win, no matter what. The reason why, because artistry stands the test of time. You could like somebody for 5 years, and they could have a hit for 5 years. The songs could blow up. But 10 years from now, are you going to be listening to some of this stuff? I'm going to tell y'all right now, there's going to be certain songs that's going to be around from Drake. But for the most part, a lot of his songs are not going to be around. Drake is a quantity over quality guy. He has so much material that is not good, and he has a lot of material that is good. Versus somebody like Kendrick, who has 99% of his material is good. So it really depends on how you look at it. But for me, in the future, you're not going to see all this. So when he says stuff like, oh, you have people like you that like this music, people have a 5-year cycle where their brain changes, in my opinion. And I think that after a certain time period, all the people that grew up with Drake when they was in high school, college, now that they're grown, they don't want to hear him rapping about teenagers. So it's not the same. It's totally different.
If you love Push, if you really love Kendrick, you're always going to lean in towards that. But if you don't give a fuck about any of those guys, you're going to lean towards there. So for you to like be that middle ground, that's really important for you to say that.
Yeah, I just feel like it's just like self-awareness, and like all this shit is playing out on the internet. You know what I mean? Like you can't escape the shit. You think I wanted to hear about that stupid shit every day? Because I really didn't. Niggas couldn't wait to talk to me about Drake. I was like, niggas never talk to me about this.
Now niggas want to talk
every day. Oh, did you see Kendrick? Did you see? Of course I see it, nigga. It's everywhere.
How you feel about Not Like Us? And then we can keep talking. You like that shit? Because you're conflicted, right?
It's so bad.
That's a West Coast bop.
Nah, you know what it is?
She a West Coast nigga.
No, I'm not.
That's my fault. In my head.
No, you know what it is? You know when you hear something all the time, it's just like, and I'm not a hater. I'm a reasonable hater. He has it.
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
The fuck does that mean?
It means like I can hate with reason. That's not something to hate on because that is an undeniable hit.
But
I know all the words. As somebody who loves Drake, I know all the words to Not Like Us. You play that right now, I will sing it.
I know that's right. That's balance, right?
I will sing it in the mic.
Yeah, that one was a smoker. It's undeniable.
See, the thing about Not Like Us is there's not one Drake song better than that. That's better than every Drake song ever created. I don't think Drake could ever get on that level. I'll speak on that in a second. I'm gonna see what else they gotta say, and then we're gonna get out of here.
I like your phrases, because before we turn the cammers on, you said you are a shameless narcissist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what did you just say?
I don't know.
I don't know. You just
I
said
say a
something.
million things.
Just saying shit.
I just love the fact that she can get shit off.
Yeah, I just gotta get that shit off.
You get shit off that niggas can't really get off.
Yeah. It's like a little hamster wheel in here.
Hey, look, I'm excited for this album, though. It better be a Jim Jones response on it because he threw a little line to Jimmy on Ace Trumpets.
Did he?
He did.
Wait, I didn't.
When he goes, look at y'all, look at them waiting for Ye, him and him. That ain't enough, player. Like when Joey Badass called AZ Cheeks.
Ass cheek or something.
Oh, that was good. That was in
funny.
and out.
That was funny.
That was in and out.
Enough is enough. Yeah. So look, here's the thing, right? I think that Not Like Us, to me, is better than every Drake song. When we talking about power, I think Kendrick Lamar music speaks for itself. It's very hard to deny Kendrick Lamar when we talking about the power of music versus the power of persuasion, right? I think Drake has the power of persuasion. He's a puppeteer, dude behind. He didn't even a puppeteer. He is a dude behind. You know, they might be the puppeteer, and Drake is on the side holding one of the strings and moving one of the strings and manipulating one of the strings, but he's not a puppeteer. Drake is not a puppeteer. I will go on record and say that. He's not. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think he's that with even with his own artists. He's not like that. But maybe, but he ain't really doing too much with it. He's a lazy puppeteer. He's like this, his hands down. And the puppets are like, come on, man, move me around. Make me dance. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? Or he cut the strings and be like, he put them on the shelf. Be like, who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Like, I can't believe that Drake didn't have Party Next Door in that video. That's out of control. I'm sorry, that's out of control. But do I think Drake runs the music industry? Absolutely not. No, I don't think he's running the game the way people making it seem. I think that he does have a heavy influence, but do I believe he has power or some type of undeniable power? No, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if he did, then we already see certain things would have not had came to fruition. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all have yourself a good one. Peace. Bye.